Hello and welcome to Car Dealer Live. My name is James Batchelor, and today on the show we are talking about how dealers can maximize their profits and improve their customer service by installing automatic car washes. Joining me to speak more about this is Istobal's Head of Sales, Chris Scott. Hello, Chris.
Morning, James. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Lovely to have you back on chatting about this, Chris. Now, for people who didn't see the show we did before, just give us a little overview of the company and where it sits in the market.
Okay, so Istobal are a Spanish car wash manufacturer, family owned, with 8 subsidiaries around the world, distribute to 70 other countries. In the UK, we're the second largest car wash manufacturer in the UK, with over 1,000 installations across the country. Petrol forecourts, automotive dealers, truck companies, bus companies, we have products for every market that has a fleet of vehicles or washes a lot of vehicles.
Yeah. And when people think of an automatic car wash, they, of course, naturally they think of a petrol forecourt, don't they? But it's in the motor retail sector, this is a growing marketplace, isn't it?
Absolutely. Traditionally, automotive dealers, remarketing companies, they have been using contract valeters, which is obviously a lot of manual labour and people heavy. But more and more people are now looking at how they can automate it, which reduces costs, reduces the labour, which has been hard to come by because of the two big stories the last few years, Brexit and COVID.
Yeah. We'll come back to that manual labour point in a second, but I just want to talk about when we last spoke, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, it seems a very long time ago now, and also at the same time, not that long ago. But I mean, it's fair to say dealers they've become very good at adapting their businesses and squeezing out as much profit as they possibly can. Have you seen a change in attitude from the car dealers you've been working with?
Yeah, absolutely, James. Costs for everyone in all of society are going up. Raw materials are going up. It's been in the news. Energy prices going up very shortly. So it's all about how you can reduce those costs, but maximise profits at the same time. And the ability to be able to save up to £50,000 a year per dealership on your valeting, reduce that risk of people on site, and improve your customer service. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the total savings that dealerships could enjoy by installing one of your systems. I mean, when we last spoke, it was more about the cost per wash, the saving you could make. Now that let's just talk a little bit about the total savings a dealership could enjoy by working with you. Okay,
so at the minute, if you've got a dealership washing 40 cars a day, that's sales cars, service cars, pitch cars, and you've got 3 or 4 people washing that and doing that job, internal and external, that's £75, £80 per person per day. That adds up. That's a lot of money. That works out at £5, £6 a car. By putting automatic washing, we can do that it works out around about £1 a wash, depending on the volume. The more you wash, the cheaper that gets. So when you equate that over to the weeks, the months, and the year, that saving can be anything from £50,000 to £60,000, depending on the volume that you're washing. Which on someone's bottom line, that's a lot of new cars or used cars you've got to sell to make that sort of money.
Yeah, and it might cost, let's just say £50,000 to invest in the beginning, but for the large listed dealer groups out there who have got anything between 50 and 150 sites across the country, they're potentially looking at an enormous saving, and not only that, but they're also able to wash even more cars as well, aren't they?
Exactly. You touched on the initial investment. There's not necessarily that investment there because we do it on a rental or a paper wash basis. So we will install that equipment at no capital outlay, and then you pay us over a rental period or on a paper wash basis. So there's not actually the initial capital outlay, and that money that is in that pot for that dealer or that dealer group can be spent on other projects. So it's not like there's a massive outlay to start with. It's no outlay, massive saving. And like I said, across dozens of groups, dozens of dealerships, that ends up being a huge saving across the board.
Yeah, yeah. So just explain to me a little bit more about how it works with the dealer. So from initial interest phase to them actually getting the product.
Okay, so from the point there's that interest, they'll speak to ourselves or one of my sales team. We would visit the site, obviously, because we can do that now, which is nice. They'll visit the site, advise and speak to the customer of where might be best to have that machine. I find out exactly what they need. There's a couple of different options they can have. You can have it as well. So it's also from a customer service point of view, so you can have a higher spec machine. From there, we would then spec the machine, obviously liaise with the facilities departments and the etc. From point to order, 6 to 8 weeks, it's in the ground, and then you're saving money from day one.
Yeah. And of course, there is a huge customer service element to all of this, isn't there? I mean, dealers know the importance of presentation, hence why they have manual car washing facilities to start off with. But what's the big benefit to having an automatic system?
Yeah, so the main benefit is, other than the cost, obviously from a customer service point of view, you're getting the same finish, the same wash every time. If you've got 2 or 3 people washing a car and then they do they wash the next one, you potentially get a different finish, because that is human nature. You're not do everything the same every time. With a machine, it automates that, it makes it the same finish. You get a wax or a polish option as well. So from a dealer standards point of view, from manufacturers, the limitation is it's washed and vacuumed. Well, we can go one step further than that and offer a wax and a polish option as well, which could be an upsell feature as well for the service teams. If somebody's there paying for a service or any work being done, an extra £5 on that bill to get your car waxed and polished, there'd be a high uptake with that.
Yeah. And also from a dealer's perspective as well, they're able to redeploy some of those staff members as well, aren't they? Yeah. They don't necessarily have to have 5 or 6 people washing a car. That can potentially come down to 1 or 2, and those people can be doing other jobs, can't they?
Absolutely. Obviously, we're not going to hide behind the fact you still need to vacuum the inside of a car. Yes. And the machine can't do that. You still need somebody to do that and move the cars around. But the difference in your daily, weekly, monthly cost from having 6 people to 1 or 2, the saving again, it's there. It's tens of thousands of pounds a year.
My last question, it's something we touched upon earlier, is the manual labour element. I mean, I would presume that the manual labour market has changed a lot in the past 2 years and probably cost dealers more, not necessarily physically getting hold of the people, the bodies to work, but also the cost of the goods and the materials used in washing a car. Is that a fair point to make?
That's completely right, James. Pre-Brexit, pre-COVID, there was a rate, and we could, it was easy to get labour from different parts of the world. It's more difficult now for obvious reasons. The labour's not there, and the labour that is there is more expensive. So then obviously that's hitting costs as well and driving costs up. The chemicals, etc., that have been used as well. That's the cost there. We've had instances where we're speaking to dealers, and instead of being able to get the staff they want, they're actually having to take some of their existing employed staff, sales staff, to take cars down the road, either put through a car wash machine or put through a hand car wash, which again isn't always open because they don't have the staff to man it. Yeah. So it's not just the cost, it's the time element as well. It's the time saving. A wash through an automatic car wash will take 3 or 4 minutes. And that's one person driving in, getting out and leaving it, and then doing something else. As opposed to 2 or 3 people going around a car at the same time. So the cost of time, especially if you've got to take a car off site for a customer, there's a risk to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a damage risk as well, isn't it? If you're taking it to a hand car wash, that car is out of your control there, and you are in charge of someone's pride and joy. Whereas if you can do that on your own site, you're able to maintain high standards, aren't you?
Absolutely, and it's a risk not just being left where it is, but also getting it from A to B and back again. Obviously the roads are unpredictable at times. You don't want to be that person who has to pay out for a new car because somebody's had an accident whilst the car's been off site, because the customer wouldn't necessarily know that's what's happened. So there's a reputation point of view as well from that.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, Chris, just if dealers are watching and they're interested, I mean, how's the best way to contact you?
Okay. For anyone interested, either give us a call on 01299 826 967 or drop us an email at sales.uk@istobal.com. Website is just www.istobal.com for more information, and you can contact us through there as well.
Terrific. Well, that's all we have time for today, Chris. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, James. Thank you for your time.
Well, join us again for Car Dealer Live very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.